Hey, welcome to PSP TV. Today, I'm really excited. I've got a world champion. It's not every day you get to speak to a world champion. Ian Jacobs, how are you going?
Very good, Ken. Very good.
That's good. Now, you're a world champion kickboxer.
Yep. Kickboxer and
triple world champion kickboxer.
World titles in both kickboxing and Thai boxing.
And as my partner did mention earlier, Kevin, don't do anything to anger him. He could kill you. So I'll try not to do that. Really excited to have a chat with you. So what drives you to become a world champion?
Mate, my quest started at 4. I saw Muhammad Ali on a black and white TV, champion of the whole world. And I resonated with that. I wasn't your normal kid jump. I was that kid jumping off the roof and doing all that crazy stuff. But I really resonated with that. But what really got me was when I realized he was doing something good for the world. And I knew I had to be a world champion and have a voice. I knew he didn't have a family that had, on TV or millions of dollars. So I knew if I wanted to help the world, I wanted to make a change. I wanted to help mum and dad make some money as well, get them in a nice place. I had to become world champion. And so I was 4 years of age when I fell in love and felt the purpose of wanting to be, desiring to be world champion. I was 6 years of age when I knew. We were traveling from Melbourne to Brisbane. We're moving. And I'm in the back of the old GDS Monaro. Mum and dad were driving, brother and sisters in the other car. The Muhammad Ali song come on the radio, and I had this tingle through my body. And I just knew I was going to be champion of the world. And I've gone, Mum, I'm going to be champion of the world one day. And she goes, no, you're bloody not. And we went out to back, and I had to tell Mum, I said, Mum, I'm going to be champion of the world. And she went over the back seat and gone, bang, gave me a blood nose, trying to deter me. And don't get me wrong, Mum, Dad never bashed me or anything like that, but she just really didn't want me to be a fighter. A fireball went off in my stomach like the power of the sun. For 2 whole days, all the way to Brisbane, in my head, which was a long time for a 6-year-old, I'm going to be champion of the world, I'm going to be champion of the world, I'm going to be champion of the world, go to sleep, wake up, I'm going to be champion of the world, I'm going to be champion of the world. And the beautifulest thing about all this was, once I started, when I was 18, Mum became my number one, idol, hero, supporter. And I was 24 years of age, and I got to fight my first world title, like the real life Rocky, 5 weeks notice, 4 times world champion, Cash Gill from England, with 5 weeks, like the real life Rocky, on my mum's 50th birthday. And what's happened, 5th round, I've knocked this guy out. As he's gone out, as the referee's gone like this, as my hands went up, every single training millisecond flashed in front of my eyes. I was standing, my hands in the ring. I was a 6-year-old kid standing in the ring the first day and said that I knew I'd be world champion. It's beautiful. It was one of the most euphoric.
That sounds just like it happens in the movies. So, but it's not that easy. Obviously, there would have been a lot of sacrifice and a lot of things that you let go by the wayside. So talk to me about that journey of going from having this almost impossible notion to going, okay, so here's my path to becoming a world champion.
Well, it's funny to say that because I think one of the world's hardest challenges a human being, girl or guy, can make, personally or professionally, is to be a world champion fighter. There is no second place. If you and that song, The Hurricane, could have been champion world, was my worst fear. And when you're out there, it's like driving a car at 400, 600 kilometers an hour. One little mistake, you're out. You know what I mean? And the training is incredible. Like my trainer, he believed that if he tortured you, this was back in the day before sports science and all that sort of stuff, he believed if he tortured you, then nothing was shocking in the ring. I remember the second day training with him. First day I walked out with 2 black eyes and fat lip. I thought, this is the guy, because he was such a good training camp. The second day we're doing sprints, and when we finished, he goes, right, over there, sit-ups over there in the green ants nest. You know what I mean? So the road and like people used to ask, because I've won world titles with broken arms and legs and all sorts of stuff. They go, how did you fight with a broken leg? I go, mate, it's easy when you do it in the ring. I said, because I'd rock up a train with a broken hand, you go punch the bag, or broken foot, you go run. He goes, if you want to fight in 2 weeks, you do the work or you don't fight. It's that simple. But and so that road, as a fighter, the fighting is the glorious bit. The training is the hard bit, the dedication, the devotion. Like my secret to success, a lot of my stuff from fighting has gone into business. My secret to success is success starts where everyone else stops. You know what I mean? You've got to have the ability to identify. You've got to have all the qualities in an industry, but success really starts where everyone else stops. And so as a fighter, when you choose to be a world champion fighter, the pain, the mental torment you've got to go through to do that, to be that number one. And there's no second place. The emotional journey, the pressure is crazy. So yeah, it's an extremely hard journey. I sometimes look back and go, wow, I've actually done that. I remember I woke up one morning in a hotel room, and I've woken up, I don't know who I am, where I am, sort of half asleep. I look at the TV and there's this guy who's just won a world title and he's got his hands up. And I'm going, wow, imagine that. And then I actually wake up and went, I've done it.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, really, really good.
Absolutely. But after winning 3 world titles, you then took a break. You retired.
Yeah.
So what was the thought process between, hey, I'm going to retire now?
Well, I actually retired early. I retired at my peak, 27, 28. Like it peaks between 28 and 32. I'd stopped. I fell in love with Muhammad Ali. I wanted to be a world champion boxer, and then Bruce Lee came out with the kicking, and kickboxing was in the middle. But kickboxing missed it. You know what I mean? The boxing made money, MMA made money, and my era didn't. And so I wanted to get a global voice. I wanted to be world champion, so I had a voice so I could help the world, and also wanted to get money so I could help mum and dad, look after myself, and that sort of stuff. And everyone I love, it didn't really do that. So I stopped early because I wanted to be world champion, but I retired with so many other titles, and I did it. Retired as one of the best of all the world champions, which was really cool. But it didn't really have the money or that. So I became an international bodyguard, made some money, came back. We started a SAFE program with my business partner, which was one of the first ever awareness prevention programs that ever was about. We brought in psychology, criminology, verbal judo specialists, body language specialists, had all these martial artists work together to create this really simple, easy thing that people can get and teach their children and prevent stuff from happening in the first place, which has been very successful. We've done over 2,500 face-to-face programs in 16 years.
So this is the Safe Families program that you're running.
Yep. Yeah. And this is one of the things that we've done because I have that mental ADHD. So whether it be, the ability to identify and fighting and just really work that out. And when you say what's happened after fighting, I look at things that are needed to be done or what we could do in a business or society needs. And so I've always had that quest to help mankind and do those things. And my business partner, Kim Klein, is brilliant at it too. And we've collided our universes together and created this amazing program that families can do. We do schools, we do corporates, we do, heaps of different stuff that we do. And we've done that very successfully. And that's just one of the things that I'm doing outside of it,
So talk to us about the Safe Families program and a little bit about that, because similar to, hey, you're 6 years old and you decide, or 4 years old and you decide I'm going to be world champion, then you start out your Safe Families program and you're back being 6 years old again because it's a whole new thing. And there's a lot of competition in this space. And yes, it is competition from a point of view that everyone's trying to help in different ways, but you still need to make it valuable in your own way.
Yeah, well, it's quite simple because 1 hour with us could save the lives of someone that you love. You know what I mean? We've really simplified it and made it common sense self-defense and awareness prevention, and we understand what profile victims are. It's a little bit like, let me put it this way, without understanding a road safe system, the roads would be very dangerous. Once you understand personal, family, and community safety, you can stop almost every situation. So when you learn to drive a car, you're a lot safer. It doesn't stop everything, but it almost stops everything. The same thing happens with what we teach you. So we teach you tips and tricks that really just shortcut everything, and it's stuff. So the difference between our programs and most of the programs that are out there, they're developed by special force guys or black belts or whatever. So we've just used things that everyday people use and assets. And so, for example, most of the time females can do this program better than males, their ability to identify. So once you teach them safe locations, situations, and people, and a square, they see everything. Do you know what I mean? Like they see everything, they get everything. It's like when you might have your wife or something and you meet friends and you go, I love the new hairdo, and you go, oh yeah, the new shoes, oh yeah, their ability to identify is heightened more than ours. And so understanding these things and the stuff that we can teach you how to protect your children, like I say, it's like a road safe system. You're building confidence in your children. You don't scare them about road safety. So it's very important that when you teach them security and safety and awareness prevention, all that sort of stuff, you create this system. And mate, it's like my son, I brought him up this way. And when he hit 18, he's 31 now. When he hit 18, when he was going to the nightclubs, the management and security go, mate, we love your son. He's actually a security asset because he just sees everything. He prevents trouble, never gets in trouble, helps them stop situations. But that's what it's about. So these are skills you can give your children. Like for us as adults, it's a re-education process. For our children, it's an education process for the safe. And it's just changed your life. 1-2 hours with us will absolutely change your life.
Fantastic. So that's a really worthwhile program, and I'll get someone to put a link for that into the commentary of here so that people can find that nice and simply for you.
And it's something that everyone should experience, because it's like, I often say this: what's the most important thing in your world? Family. What's the most important thing for your family? Bottom line is that they're safe. What's the most important thing to keep them safe? And this is the one that people can't answer. And yet it's the most important thing in your life. But this is 1 hour, 2 hours with us, and you answer it straight away. You understand how to do it, implement it. It's so simple. So it's definitely something worthwhile experiencing.
Absolutely. But then you decided, hey, I've got to start with this program, but you decided to go back in the ring.
Yeah.
What? Like, you already know the pain and the suffering and that is coming. Why would you want to do that to yourself again?
Well, it's a combination. Like, as a fighter, once you're a fighter, you've always got that one more fight in you. I don't anymore, by the way. I've got something. But you've got that one more fight. One, that two, my father actually felt very ill with cancer. And being old school and ignoring it, he had prostate cancer. But by the time they detected it, it was like 90-95% bone cancer through his whole body. Gets taken to hospital. And they said, prepare yourself, he's not leaving. And I was like, I thought they mean he had months. I gave him 3 days to live. And I basically, my mum's worst fear, they bought him 40 acres. They were building their dream home because they work for the family, for kids and kids. Anyway, mum's worst fear is dad would never get to see this house. And when the doctors have told us that, I've gone to the gym and I've torn a bag in half because I was that angry and upset, and I prayed every God, every religion, every energy of good, give me a sign of how I can help dad. And there was a matchmaker there for Anthony Mundine camp. And he goes, you should be fighting Anthony Mundine. And I've spoke to him. I said, pick up the phone. Let's get it going, because we're going to call it pound for pound kickboxer, the best pound for pound boxer in Australia. And the guy told me it's a $600,000 fight, and it's a possibility. And they rung up and they're discussing it. So I'm like, I've gone and next day gone and told dad I might be fighting Anthony Mundine. What do you reckon? He goes, build the car and mind to drive. In other words, get fit. Dad's an ex-part-time commando. When he was younger, very fit as well. And after I left the hospital, mum's rung me crying. She goes, you're not going to leave this. Dad's pulled himself out of bed, told the doctors where to go, and said, my son's fighting, I'm fighting. And that fight didn't happen, but ended up getting another fight. Number one kickboxing promoter in the world, put on an 8-man eliminator thing. And I basically had 10 days. I started training for it and broke my eye socket, sparring all these big people. And then I had 12 weeks off. And then the doctor said, there's no way you could have any fights this year. And I went to him and goes, asked me how your eyes healed. Anyway, I had 10 days to lose 15 kilos to get ready for this fight. And fought Stanley Mendex, 4 times world champion, and got a Guinness World Record fastest knockout for that, 1.8 seconds. So it was, it's a world record. We didn't make it official with Guinness, but 1.8 second knockout for Dad. And he basically lasted 3 years. We promised Dad we'd get the house finished and everything like that. So I've got all my friends and family, anyone I knew, and we all basically I'd work on this house like 20 hours a day. And I promised he'd be in before Christmas, and Christmas Eve we took their bed from the shed and put it in the house, and he'd wake up Christmas Day in the new house.
Now, I'm going to admit, I'm a little bit embarrassed. Did you get to fight Anthony Mundine?
No, that fight didn't happen.
Shame, because beating up Anthony Mundine you wouldn't be the only Australian who's ever wanted to do that. We won't go into that too far. But today, what drives you today?
Mate, I've created a new global fitness sport, and it is like, it's my masterpiece. Out of everything I've ever done, I know this is fantastic. Everyone loves it. It's called Thunderball. Thunderball, easy to play, hard to master. And what I mean by that is I've got 3-year-olds play it. I've got a 72-year-old. I've got you know, like any age you can play it. It's a big soft ball, soft ground, soft nets, and you punch and kick and elbow and knee. There's no racket, but it's a little bit like squash. And at the very basic level, it's just fun. It engages every single part of your body, your core, your abs, you know, so it's really good for firing up your nervous system, which retains youth as well. But at the top end, when you play, because you've got entry rules anyone can do, fun rules made up for the size, the age, the fitness level, the experience, and then you've got full comp rules. At full comp rules, within 30 seconds to a minute, your heart rate's like 150, 200. It's like, and it's the best stress relief that you've ever. I actually discovered it from when I was angry. I've kicked and punched the ball for about 30 seconds. My heart rate's about 200. I've bent over, and as I bent over, I knew then. Game, fitness, sport. You know what I mean? So Thunderball is just going to hit the storm, and it's really, really exciting, especially with the models and the partners we're working with to roll this thing out. Yeah, it's really, really exciting. We've got global plans. We've had our first stage of investment. We've got a prototype that's set up now. We're going to put a VIP lounge upstairs so people want to see their friends and have a drink, and corporate guys, and they can do that. We've got a health cafe going downstairs that's both looking at the courts and the fitness area. We've created a little fitness area that goes around it as well, like an F45, but we've called it CZ training. CZ because it's easy, but it's cardio, core, strength, stability, endurance. CZ. So your abs, your core is like I'm 50, but I've got the abs still going. You know what I mean? I dropped 10.
We're not going to do a comparison there, okay? Because I would definitely be way before shot. So you won't do that. Look, Martin's asked, hey, can we play Thunderball already?
Yeah, definitely. Let's put the challenge out. So let's make an exclusive invitation to everyone that's on the team, that's in the industry. We're not officially open to the public yet. So if people want to come along out of your crew, let's do a special game, special play. People can come that aren't comfortable playing the sport. You can come down and have a play with it, you know, have an experience and take it through it. Anyone can do this. They'll have a great time. But number one thing is our safety. There's our rule. So anyone can come down and have an experience. They can have a play with me. And at the other end, people want to challenge me, want to have a go. You think you got something on, you can, get it hard, text me and, talk tough, do all that sort of stuff and bring it down. We can make some really good fun out of it. But we'll have a great day. So this is a special invitation for anyone that in your team that wants to come down, definitely.
Cool. So let's create a networking event for that. That would be absolutely awesome. And we'll do that. We'll get a bit of, we'll get a few people out there. I'm sure there's a few people in the group that would love to take you on at Thunderball, not any other way, so that we can have some fun and absolutely see if we can help promote this out. It is something new and exciting, and we've got lots of people that love new and exciting. Small business owners are risk takers, so let's see if we can create that. Yeah,
definitely, and it'd be good to also, because they'll get to say they did it before it was even released. This thing's going to go bananas. We've got we're just finishing off getting our licenses and painting now, but we've got football teams, we've got corporate industries. We're hoping, we're talking to them at the moment. Our first corporate competition is with Ferrari Lamborghini. So we're in discussion with them now. It would be a really nice launch. But we'll see how we go. But definitely open invitation for those that want to come and experience it and say they've been a part of it before we launch. Yeah.
Fantastic. And obviously we'll be going around Australia, fairly quickly with how you're going. So my first question is, what dress code? What do people wear? Is it a barefoot thing? Is it a sports shoe type scenario?
You've seen that TV show Gladiators in the old days? We've got special tights that you can wear and suspender. No, I'm joking. No. I saw you get excited there. I was like, what's going on? Good.
I was thinking of, Gladiator. That's what I was thinking in my head.
Yeah. But no, on a serious note, just shorts, singlet, shirt, just stuff you wear to the gym. We don't wear shoes on the court. It's a soft court, like martial art floors, soft nets at the side, big soft ball. If you've got gloves, bring some gloves. You don't really need wraps. If you want to put wraps on, you can. There's not much stress in there, and it's a big soft ball. It's a big exercise ball. If a hitch, it just bounces off. There's no injuries or anything like that. No ball injuries or anything like that. So it's pretty safe.
Fantastic. Well, off screen, we'll have a bit of a chat about when we can coordinate something, and we'll put a special offer out to the group, and we'll create a networking event from it.
Yep.
That sounds great. Thanks for sharing your story today and helping inspire us, because, you know, obviously running a small business is something that, as you yourself know, it's something that can, you know, you can get caught up doing the doing and forget about that inspiration, but it's also important to come back to why you're doing it in the first place. So thanks very much for your help today.
Fantastic, Kev. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. See you soon.